Madam Chair, committee members, thanks for the opportunity to speak today. It's a great opportunity to come out here to Washington and take part in this committee discussion. I'm Mike Noonan. I farm over 10,000 acres in the Klamath Falls area. As a young farmer, I got out of college, started with 100 acres. So a lot of the things I talk about is going to be about rural infrastructure and how to get a young farmer the basics it takes to get young farmers into farming and how it's all affected. It's a bright time for agriculture. High commodity prices. Things are looking really good. $6 wheat. But as a farmer, you look at the good times and you look back to a lot of years when we were looking at $80 a ton barley or less than $100 wheat, which is less than $3 a bushel. And with that being said, one of our biggest concerns as wheat producers is the countercyclical payments, or the LDPs, have never triggered for wheat growers in the last 6 to 7 years. We've actually been left out of that by having a low target price. And we're not after a target price. One of the biggest things that we need is to continue our direct payment, which is 52 cents, or raise it. To raise it right now is probably not what's going to happen, but at least to maintain the direct payments is very important for rural infrastructure for a couple reasons. It's bankable. It's a thing that a young farmer can take, and it's going to be something that's for sure. It's 52 cents every year or whatever the number is, and it's something that's bankable. With the LDPs and countercyclical, it changes, and it's not a sure thing. The other thing is it also helps us compete globally in the sense that with all the increased environmental and also labor issues that we have, it causes us to be able to compete with lower cost of production. Our production costs are higher. The other thing we'd like to see is full funding of the CSP program and other conservation programs, including EQIP. But the Conservation Security Program rewards us as farmers for what we have done and encourages us to move forward with new conservation practices on our farm. I'm currently moving to almost a third no-till farming now, incorporating carbon and into the soil, and it's really working for us in certain areas. So looking at that and full funding of the CSP in all watersheds so everybody can take part is definitely a priority. To technology, one of the big things we see is switchgrass. We could see switchgrass growing with the right type of research, so we can get the most biomass production. We could see it actually out on wheat acres, helping out with our renewable energy that we need within the nation. We could also look at high sugar wheat in the sense that it could be used. One of the things that is our concern, especially out in Oregon, is the fact that you have a situation that corn's going to be hauled all the way to Oregon to be made into ethanol. We got a 25 by 25 resolution going on there, and we as Oregon farmers are looking at through Oregon State and as a state looking how we can keep that more of a regional thing. So if we could take wheat into ethanol production or cellulose type switchgrass, I mean, that would be a great thing for us. Lastly, transportation. One of the things that my farm did to be successful was to add value. So adding value, we do transportation, plus I also have a packing shed to pack my vegetables, and then we also have a trucking company. But one of the biggest things that we're underserved is in rail transportation. With that being said, the 100-car unit trains generally come out, but to the countryside, when you get out to really rural America where you need 4 or 5 rail cars, most of the time we'll wait to ship our crop until it's off demand time. So if it's September or August type of harvest conditions, we'll wait, and I'll have to wait to ship grain until generally because the premium on rail cars is so high, I really can't ship it until, and that happens everywhere, until getting into November, December, into January, when it's an off-demand time. Lastly, when it comes to worker shortage, there's definitely a worker shortage in the countryside, and I don't know what the answer is, but one of the things that I can see personally from my farm and within the people that work, or the employers, farm employers in Oregon, is there needs to be a way for documentation of workers so you can be sure exactly of what's going on. One of the big concerns I have is when I hire somebody, they have a driver's license and a card, and great people, by the way, and a very big part of what we do. It's very hard to tell. It'd be nice to have one national standard that would say, when they come up, my secretary and my brother can take a look, or I can take a look, and we know that they're documented. And then also, we're an advocate for more workers, so we can have, they can take part in our businesses.